Child's Play, the 2019 movie, is directed by Lars Klevberg, and it stars Gabriel Bateman, Aubrey Plaza, and Brian Taylor Henry, and also Mark Hamill as the voice of Chucky. And this is the reboot of the original Child's Play film, which came out in 1988. And in this version, we deal with this company called this toy company puts out a new doll that's basically an artificial intelligence inside this talking doll that has the ability to basically talk and like a human being.
It actually pays homage to what Apple is today.
Basically, yeah.
Where you can get like a vacuum cleaner, TVs, cars.
There's an app that they use on mobile devices that allows it to tap into the doll's artificial intelligence and allows it to basically sync up to stuff like radios or other technology. And basically, the story deals like the original film. You have Aubrey Plaza's character, who is a single mom, and she's working at this store, kind of reminiscent of Kmart, and she ends up getting this doll that has the artificial intelligence
for Andy,
because they just moved into this new apartment,
and he doesn't know anybody in this new city. So
yeah, and then basically, as she gets him this doll for his upcoming birthday. He ends up basically befriending the doll and kind of leaving it there because it's really the same plot where basically there's some murders that happen based on what the doll does. And that's pretty much it. Like, now here's some little backstory. Now, if you've been following our channel, we actually did a retrospective of the other Child's Play films, including our Child's Play retrospective a few years ago. And we also did a review of Cult of Chucky, which came out a couple years ago. Yep. And just to recap, the first Child's Play film, I remember growing up that it was one of those franchises that when I was a kid, I was actually scared of action figures after watching those movies back in the day.
Brad Dourif as Chucky it goes down like with Robert Englund as Freddy and all them. He's and Doug Bradley as Pinhead.
Yeah.
And Brad Dourif just really took that that role by storm.
And he made all those sequels.
The first one to me, I felt like was kind of like how I feel with Nightmare on Elm Street '84. It was fucking creepy as shit. It was darker tone. I even liked the boy Andy in that one.
Yeah, I did too.
I like the whole soul possessing.
Yeah, because in that one it was dealing with a serial killer and that trying to find a soul.
He was into voodoo.
Yeah. And so that one had more of a supernatural feel. But the original film, even to this day, I still hold up as a very good slasher film. And it just, the tension.
Even the Chucky doll's badass looking in that.
And even the effects, like you look back at today, they look great, and while there is kind of a low body count in the first one, they really were just they were kind of like in their mind trying to do more of a psychological take. Yeah. Because in that film, you're getting the idea that the way it was going on that possibly Andy was doing the murders.
Yeah.
But it was kind of really already established at the beginning of it that
any film that comes with a bunch of every film that comes with a bunch of sequels afterwards, it was trying to be its own thing. That's why a lot of back in the day, like Nightmare on Elm Street '84 and all them worked so well in the first movie.
Yeah.
Because that's what they were trying for, is just one movie.
Yeah, and then the sequels as they went along, like 2 I thought was a good one.
Good sequel.
3 I found very disappointing. It was a lot of very drop. Now Bride I actually thought was a fun 90s slasher film. That was
not to mention, I find Bride to be highly underrated. I do find it best outside of the Andy movie, where Andy's not in.
Yeah.
Or the different take. We haven't seen Chucky in so many years.
Yeah.
So I would say that I find that Curse Seed was a fucking ass. That was ass. That's what killed it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we ended up bringing it back with Curse, which I find pretty good.
You got Cold, which I found disappointing.
Very disappointing.
It wasn't bad, but I thought that the way they went with it was very underwhelming. And I think that the way they set it up, at this point I don't know what they're going to do with it now.
And
Don
Mancini and all them, they're trying to do the TV series, which, by the way, while this is weird because we got this going on, and then we also got the continuation with Brad Dourif.
Yeah,
we're going to be getting supposedly next year.
Yeah, possibly. But the thing is that for a long time, before even Curse was coming out, they planned on doing a remake for a long time. So this was actually in development from Orion, who owned the rights to the first film, because legally, since they couldn't do they couldn't name the Chucky films, they can only go by the name of the Child's Play.
Yeah.
So they had the rights to the remake for a long time, and they figured they would do something with it, while even though they were still doing successful with the other films.
Yeah. And they even tried to get Dom Mancini and
Brad Dourif to do it for a while.
Do this one right here.
But because they took so long...
it took so long, and Dom Mancini did not like the Orion's take where they said, we kind of want to go with this route on this remake, so we don't make it like copy, which I respect. But Dom Mancini saw it and said it was ass.
Yeah,
I don't want to do it.
And so my expectations going to the remake were not very good.
They weren't
per se, because already before the trailers were even announced, when I heard that the story was going to be about artificial intelligence going berserk, I was thinking in my mind like, okay, that is not fucking Chucky.
Yeah. So I was hearing this film was being made, I was fucking infuriated. I was like, this is going to be like fucking Jigsaw. Bringing back not really a remake per se, but Halloween. You know, we're getting those things.
Bring back the iconic killers and stuff.
Iconic killers, and a lot of times they're just not good.
No, I mean,
what was to say this was going to be different? I didn't like the AI thing going on. I was worried. The only thing that got me is when Mark Hamill came on the news and announced, "I am Chucky."
Yeah,
that kind of was like, got me. Oh shit, that is the biggest shocker I've ever seen from an actor standpoint ever. And what better to have somebody who's, you know, never who's known for his voice work. I mean, he's probably the best voice actor of all time.
Yeah, he's done countless iconic characters, but you know, you got Joker and you got all them, and so Mark Hamill, I think, you know, besides Brad Dourif, he was perfectly chosen to do the voice of Chucky.
Yeah, and then when the trailers came out, I will say that I was on the train of a big Nope train when I saw the face of what Chucky was going to look like.
Looking like fucking, he looked like fucking Sid from the first Toy Story if he had made his own doll.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the marketing looked like it was going to be a fucking, like an animated CGI film.
Yeah,
it's like, what the fuck is this?
And it didn't help either that, I mean, granted, I did hear that they were, before the movie came out, they announced they were going to do animatronics and stuff, but I was still in my words like, that fucking face just looks wrong.
Even with Mark Hamill, I was still worried.
Yeah.
So going into this film, after watching this film, I will say that it's weird how I want to discuss this. As a Chucky, Child's Play film with Chucky, this was not a good movie. This was not a good Child's Play. This was not a good Chucky. If you would have marketed it as a different AI going wrong killer monster doll thing, it's pretty good. It's entertaining, but still has problems.
Yeah, it's how I put it like this. After upon seeing it, I consider it pretty much even though it's officially part of the franchise as a sequel, I consider basically the Jason Goes to Hell equivalent, where you know how in that film where it wasn't really Jason doing the killings as it was just it was just straight away from it. It's kind of like they do this where they have the name of Chucky and everything, but the way it goes, it just really feels like it's not really Chucky.
Yeah.
But with that being said, though, I will say that overall, like on a standpoint, it was decent. I'm not gonna say it was bad.
Yeah, but it's not bad. It's just even minus the Child's Play out of it. It seems like it's a entertaining but flawed film.
It is. But to get my pros out of the way, Mark Hamill, I was glad that he actually played Chucky in this. And what's interesting was I like that he brought his own unique take on it, because I was worried going into it that he was just going to carbon copy Brad Dourif's.
Well, it was either that or he was going to sound too much like the Joker.
Yeah.
And that's what the two worries were. He came in here, he did it good. You're not Brad Dourif, I'm sorry, but you did your part, and compared to people like Jackie O'Haley who did Freddy and all the other ones that I really didn't care about, I would say that you did your part, you know.
Yeah, and he brought.
I would say that you and Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise are the only two that I felt like came in. But Bill Skarsgård, to me, I felt like he actually fucking overtook.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying that I respect that, because in this version of Chucky, Chucky actually has it to where he's fucking with you, and he's able to like.
I like his
lure
take,
you into it. And also, one thing I do praise with this Chucky is that he's able to use different technology to lure his victims.
Yes, because he's an AI and he's connected to TVs and security cameras and vehicles and stuff, and that gives him more chances to do brutal shit, and I like that. I also liked, and another pro I have with this film was I liked how and if you guys remember in the other one, he was really wanting Andy for his soul. It wasn't really best friend to the end.
Yeah.
But in this one, he's so obsessed with Andy that when somebody butts in, it's like he's a jealous rage.
He is, yeah.
And jealous rage, and I like that.
I did too, and I appreciated that. This film kind of took a level that, while there is problems with the writing and the way it's set up, I did like the way that it dealt more with the friendship aspect with him at first, because you know how they're trying to get along with each other and stuff, and you know he's trying to have a good friend with him and everything. I like the kind of dynamic they went with this. It was a good change up than the original film, because I was afraid that they were just going to carbon copy.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
So I at least appreciate they did something different like this.
Yeah, I do too. So I will say that Aubrey Plaza and the kid that played Andy, they were good.
Yeah,
they were good.
They were good, and I also enjoyed the other kids because it kind of had kind of a Stranger Things kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, I mean that bigger kid kind of got kind of annoying.
Yeah,
and at times I felt like the writing where one part where they were thinking maybe Andy's doing the killing, and the next scene they're like, "Oh, Andy's right, he ain't killing."
Yeah,
like,
it's just,
where
it's
the fuck
very rushed.
It's very rushed towards between that, and I was like, okay. The cop. I felt like the cop. He was. I don't know. It's weird because he's kind of like a comedic liner with his mom and trying to befriend Andy and all that stuff.
There were a couple.
Yeah, there's
times
a couple times it works and a couple it doesn't.
But yeah, I get what you're saying, and I did feel like though for the most part he's kind of like underused because compared to the first one, which I give this more. I'm not trying to bring it as a comparison, but in context wise with the first one, I felt like the way the character was written it had more of a banter because in the original film, if you remember, he was the cop that stopped Chucky. So on this one, it just felt like the cop just comes here back and forth just to show up the murder scenes.
And what I will also give this movie a praise was this was incredibly brutal.
It was. I was
actually surprised. If you guys know the
that.
latter series of the Child's Play, the Chucky movies that we've been seeing. What's really been killing Colt and all of them was CGI.
CGI
blood, and pretty much all the deaths, gore scenes were CGI.
I mean,
this one went back to practicals, and I will tell you, there was some fucking disgusting shit.
There was, especially. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it gets to a climax at the end that I thought was actually something unexpected. Yeah. I like that they took the balls to do that.
Yeah.
You know,
the shopping. If you guys seen it, the shopping center.
Yeah. And the other praise I will say is I do like some of the music. The music was pretty
it sounds
cool
from the original.
And also the kind of theme song they play with where he's singing your buddy. Yeah.
I do like that because it gives a more creepy factor to it because you get the how would I explain it? You get the creepiness of him, how he's like so nice but so dark in the background.
Yeah, I like that he was kind of doing that, and there are a couple of moments.
And this movie is weird. I don't know what to say, but I actually laughed at a lot.
I did too. They actually have some humor in this that I thought was kind of giving me flashbacks to Bride of Chucky, where they were able to put in dark humor. Because in the original films, mainly 2 and 3, they built up some dark humor here and there, but they didn't really classify as a straight-on comedy until Bride of Chucky was. So this one, they actually made it to where Chucky's actually getting away with saying some shit that the other people say when he records their voices, and it had lines that he come out that fucking made me laugh, like when he was saying, this is for Tupac and shit like that, or
I mean, some of it does come off way too. It makes the film feel way too out there on the comedy bar.
Yeah, but it's just the novelty of hearing also Mark Hamill saying shit like that is actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
But as far as my cons though, this is where we get to pretty much some of our problems. Now, as much as I enjoy Mark Hamill's performance as Chucky, this really falls into what I call the effect of CGI is always what takes you out of the movie, sort of things, where every time he would show up with that fucking smile, unintentionally gave me a laugh because it was fucking hilarious.
That smile at the first half.
The lips, the
lips, the problem with this is throughout the whole story, and unless he's in the dark somewhere, his lips and everything, I don't know why it has to be CGI'd.
I appreciate.
Look what we did in the '80s, and look at now.
Yeah,
really,
hell, even look at Curse. because even when we got to like Curse, they were able to mix the doll with they kind of looked a little plasticky with how he looked in Curse and Cult, but the way the movements were, they felt like they had a lot more layers to them. They were able to render properly.
Yeah.
This one, I was like, I don't know what the fuck. He's got Leonardo DiCaprio hair and shit. I was like, what the fuck?
It's just the way he was moving.
And I appreciate that they went back to animatronics again to like make him move around and stuff. But every time I see that fucking face, it looks so bad. Like the way he comes across with his lip movements and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and on top of that, there's my biggest complaint I have is the way that they do up the fucking backstory in this.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to spoil how they do it, but this backstory, the way they set up with him going on a murder spree,
is
incredibly weak, and it's fucking, like, it makes no sense. It really doesn't make sense.
I mean, they could have maybe did something where a big-time serial killer, not possessing souls, but controlling the doll and being alive, would have made, like, a different take, but would make more sense. Instead, I don't want to spoil it, but it's very short-lived, and it's pretty much they got some Tom, Dick, and Harry off the street at a facility, working at a facility, making these dolls, and it's just really like, it's a short-lived backstory.
Yeah.
And really, I know these movies are not supposed to be real, they're not fucking real, but you want to try to picture what if real, and it just makes it not feel right.
Well, I get...
Especially, like there's nothing controlling Chucky, and it was like, it doesn't go into any backstory when he's doing the thing, the forming what he say. It's just more like racing and letting Chucky do his own personality.
Yeah.
But I don't know, there's no backstory, and that's a big problem with me. I know people are like, man, don't take it too seriously. It's kind of hard not to.
I mean, yeah, the novelty of a killer doll is kind of hard to take seriously. I get that.
Yeah.
But for this type of movie, you still need to have logical shit happen.
Yeah.
This to me, I don't fucking buy with this.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Even
Especially
in this world.
on a writing standpoint, it doesn't make any sense why this shit would happen.
Yeah, and it's like he said, it's very short-lived, and you just don't fucking, whatever. But anyway,
other than that, I mean, it also would have helped that the movie, it kind of like, the way it goes along, we didn't really get to see much of. It really falls like you were saying earlier with the whole Child's Play remake thing, like as with Chucky. Mm-hmm. We really don't really get to see Chucky really do his own thing as Chucky until the very end. Because the rest of it, it's just him basically, saying the same kind of lines back and forth and stuff. And it really falls into that category where it's not a fucking Chucky movie. It's more of a remake in name only kind of thing. Like, where, basically throughout the whole film, you're like, where's his signature, style that he does, like in the other films? But like you're saying, it doesn't happen until the very end, when he becomes full Chucky, when he goes full on Chucky.
Yeah. But
other than that, I mean, I will say that given for what it was, I mean, it wasn't a horrible, but I will say that it definitely, it was better than what I expected, but it still works mainly as its own movie.
Yeah.
It is not a fucking Chucky
movie. I'm trying to think. Oh, and so throughout the film, another problem I have, I do feel like they savored the best of what Mark Hamill could have done when he goes real full on Chucky.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They save it at the fucking last.
That's what I was saying. Yeah,
5 fucking minutes, man. I'm like, oh man, I get the buildup of him becoming like this takes too fucking long.
It does.
Especially when you see the cool shit at the end. But,
but
I mean, I really don't know what else to say. The entertainment's there. It's very flawed. It's not a good Chucky movie, but it's a
decent slasher.
Slasher. AI going wrong. I wish this would have been something different.
Yeah.
I think they cashed in on the name more than anything.
They did.
To be honest with you, they didn't. They were afraid maybe a straight to video or people wouldn't go check this out. They'd call it, "Oh, you're a copycat of Chucky." So with that being said,
yeah, I'm going to give the movie just an average Joe on the Film Phreeks meter.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this average Joe on Film Phreeks meter also.
Fair enough. For those of you who have also seen the Child's Play and also the other Chucky films, let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. If you like what you see here, you can feel free to like and subscribe to our channel and check us on other reviews here and our website at filmphreeks.com. We'll be seeing you in our next review. We'll see you later.
Later.